Good morning, students. Welcome to Hashland. We're doing the current affairs class today for the first session, and there are three classes planned for today. One is starting now at 10 o'clock, and then the next session will start at 11 o'clock, which will be for numbers question discussion. We'll be looking at some of the questions from the numbers concept of mathematics, and the third session will be at 12 o'clock, which will be based on general awareness. So starting with the class here, I'm taking up the latest current affairs in the last 8 to 10 days and presenting them to you in the form of a question, and there'll be a question followed with 4 answer options. You can participate in the quiz by posting your answers in the comment section and then noting down the correct answer in case you don't know the question. Also take down any important notes that I'll be sharing with you or discussing with you some additional points while discussing the answers to the questions given in this slide. So let's start with the first question now, and that is the question based on who is the first Indian woman officer to lead an all-men contingent during the Army Day parade on January 14th, 2020. The first Indian woman officer to lead an Army Day parade, to lead an all-men contingent during the Army Day parade on 14th of January 2020. So Army Day parade was on the 14th of January. That's point number one. And second is that's the first woman officer to lead an all-men contingent. That's also important to see here. And the names are given to you: Captain Swati Pandey, Captain Kritika Gosain, Captain Sanjana Chaudhary, and Captain Tanya Shergill. If you had not read about this in various newspapers or online newspapers, you can note down the correct answer, and that is answer option D. So the correct answer for this question would be answer option D, which is Captain Tanya Shergill. That's the answer for the first question. Question number one, the right answer is D, Captain Tanya Shergill. I hope you have noted down the correct answer for question number one, Captain Tanya Shergill. Okay, let's move on to question number two then and see what is the question here. Question number two, what is the ranking of Indian passport in Henley Passport Index 2020? Now, the Henley Passport Index is an index which shows to you the power of the passports of different countries. And when you say power of passports, it means using the passport of a particular country, in how many countries can you travel to without taking a prior visa. That means you can go to these countries using a passport with a visa on arrival facility. Now we know normally that when you have to go to a country, foreign country, first you have to apply for a visa for that country from the consulate, and once you get the visa, then you are able to travel to that country. But there's another option that is sometimes available for the passport holders of a country, and that is when you go to a country, you don't have to take a prior visa, and that you can get the visa on arrival. So the passport of a country which has the maximum number of visa on arrival facilities would be a more powerful passport as compared to the country which has less number of such options. So this is what the Henley Passport Index basically tells you. It ranks all of the major countries in the world based on the passport, the capacity of the passport holder to travel to a country without taking a prior visa. And India's ranking in this passport index of 2020 is 84. So students, here the correct answer is answer option D, that is 84. So India's ranking in the world in the Henley Passport Index is 84, and that is your correct answer for question number 2. I hope you have noted down the answer. The ranking of India in the Henley Passport Index is 84. Okay, now let's move on to the third question and see what is there for you in the third question. You can note down the questions also. If you have a note pen and a paper available with you, write down the questions. So whenever we do a live class, you should take it as you normally take an offline class. So keep a pen and paper handy, take down notes, and then use these notes later to revise for your upcoming exams, where current affairs is an integral part of the examination. So question number 2 we have done, and now we have question number 3 here. So this is based on this new proposed tunnel that is called the Z-More tunnel. The question reads like this: the 6.5-kilometer long Z-More tunnel, which was seen in news recently, is to be constructed in which state or union territory? So first of all, there's a new tunnel that is proposed and it is to be constructed. The name of this tunnel is Z-More Tunnel, and it is a 6.5-kilometer tunnel, and it will be constructed in which of these states or union territories? We have four answer options here: Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Jammu and Kashmir, or Assam. If you know the answer for this question, post the answer in the comment section. Otherwise, you can note down the question, and when I discuss with you the answer, you can take it down and write down the correct answer for this particular question. The 6.5-kilometer tunnel. So you should remember the length of the tunnel. It's 6.5 kilometer. The name of the tunnel is the Z-More Tunnel. It is in the Kargil area of Jammu and Kashmir. So you can note down the correct answer for question number 3, and that is Jammu and Kashmir. The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is where this Z-More Tunnel will be constructed. Okay. In the previous current affairs class, I also discussed about the highest road bridge that is going to be constructed also is in Jammu and Kashmir. So let's move on to question number 4 now and see what is there in this particular question. Which international organization has predicted reduced growth forecast of 5.8% for India in 2020? This was quite in news and there were a lot of talks happening about this particular reduction in the growth forecast. Earlier, the expected GDP growth was at 6.5%, which was later reduced to 6%, and now the growth forecast for India for the year 2020, that's the financial year 18 and 1920, is 5.8%. So there has been reduction in the growth forecast for India, which shows that the economy is not doing quite well. Now, this question is asking you which international organization has predicted reduced growth forecast of 5.8% for India in 2020. That's ending April 2020. There are four answer options in front of you. We have World Bank, International Monetary Fund, that is IMF, the Asian Development Bank ADB, or the United Nations Development Program UNDP. So here the question is about which of these organizations. The correct answer, yes, is answer option B, which is IMF. And this reduced growth forecast, you can note down this additional point here, which is important for you. The reduced growth forecast that we're talking about, 5.8%, was predicted by, you can say, the person who was in news for making this growth forecast was the chief economist of the IMF. So if you know the name of the chief economist of the International Monetary Fund, you can post that also in the answer option. Let me see if you are aware about that or not. Who is the chief economist of the International Monetary Fund who predicted the reduced growth forecast of 5.8% for India for the financial year 1920? What is the name of the chief economist of the International Monetary Fund? And who is also, we can talk about the president of the International Monetary Fund. Okay, so here we can say, first of all, you can note down, if you're not aware, the chief economist of the International Monetary Fund is Geeta Gopinath. G-I-T-A, that is Geeta. She is from an Indian origin, and she has now become the highest economist to say in the International Monetary Fund. The chief economist of the IMF is a very, very big post. It's a matter of real proud for all of us Indians that Geeta Gopinath is the chief economist of the International Monetary Fund, and she is the one who predicted this reduced forecast. And the president of the International Monetary Fund is Kristalina, Kristalina, Kristalina Georgieva. Earlier, the president of the IMF was Christine Lagarde, but from January 2020, in fact, from I think October, November 2019, the chief economist of the International Monetary Fund is Kristalina Georgieva, who is currently the president of the International Monetary Fund. You also should know about World Bank. If you're aware about the president of World Bank, can you post that in the answer option here in the comment section? Who is the current president of the World Bank? The World Bank and IMF are two of the main development banks in the world. two of the main development banks. They normally work in tandem with the United Nations and take into most of the financial loans to developing countries and underdeveloped countries are mostly processed by these two organizations, and they play a crucial role in international government and government loans. So, who is the current president of the World Bank? The World Bank Group actually is a group of a number of banks which together are called the World Bank Group. The main bank that is a part of the group, which we normally refer to as the World Bank, is the IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. IBRD is the main head organization which is under the World Bank Group. And the president of the IBRD and also the president of the World Bank Group is David Malpass. DAVID. If you don't know, note down. The president of World Bank, the current president of World Bank is David Malpass. Till early 2019, the president of World Bank was Dim Yong Kim, and later on he was replaced by the new president who currently is the president of World Bank, and his name is David Malpass. DAVID MALPASS. David Malpass. So we have seen here the chief economist of the International Monetary Fund, who is Geeta Gopinath. The president of the International Monetary Fund, the head of the International Monetary Fund is Kristalina Georgieva. And also I've discussed with you here in the same question that the president of World Bank is right now David Malpass. And I've also discussed with you that Christine Lagarde was the previous head of the International Monetary Fund. And if you have been watching my videos earlier, I also discussed with you that Christine Lagarde right now is the president of the European Union Bank, the central bank, the main bank of European Union. Christine Lagarde is right now the head of the European Union Bank. So much to understand from this one question. All of these are major financial organizations, the World Bank, the IMF, the Asian Development Bank, having its headquarters in Manila, which is in the Philippines, and the UNDP, United Nations Development Program. So all of these major world organizations, we should know about the heads of these organizations. We should also know about where are the headquarters of these organizations, and other related news based on these organizations have often come in exams in current affairs, sometimes even as a static GK question. Like for example, when was the World Bank founded? In which year was the World Bank created? That could come as a question for you, right? So the World Bank was formed in the year 1945. If you don't know, write down. The World Bank was formed in the year 1945 after the Bretton Woods conference that was going on, and finally it culminated into the formation of the World Bank. The main reason behind the formation of the World Bank was reconstruction and development of Europe, which was completely devastated post the World War II. Okay. So what I'm saying is that these important organizations, banking organizations, we have government organizations, intergovernment organizations, you must know about them, the headquarters, the heads of these organizations, and any relevant information or news from the current affairs based on these organizations can definitely come in your examinations. Let's move on now to question number 5, and look at question number 5. Which nation threatened to quit the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons deal? Which nation threatened to quit the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons deal? NPFT, non-proliferation. So the non-proliferation means not to keep adding more and more nuclear weapons in this world, and that it's a deterrent for countries, those who are signed to this non-proliferation, agree to the fact that they will not use nuclear technology for creating weapons of mass destruction, and that they can use nuclear technology only for the purpose of other things, for example, creating energy, nuclear power plants and nuclear reactors to create nuclear energy. So for using nuclear energy for any type of thing other than for constructing weapons of mass destruction, that is called as the nuclear weapons. The question here is, which country has threatened that it will now quit the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons deal? And there are 4 answer options in front of you: Israel, Russia, US, and Iran. Which country has threatened to quit? If you don't know about this, you can write down the correct answer first, and that is answer option D, that is Iran. In the wake of the killing of General Soleimani, the head of the Iranian Royal Guard, IRD, the head, you can say the highest defense post in Iran, the main general whose name was General Soleimani, was killed by the United States, admitted by Donald Trump, President of the United States, through a drone attack. And post this, there was a lot of uproar in Iran, and Iran threatened with lots of retaliatory measures. And one of them is that it has threatened that it will now quit the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons deal. And this is the reason behind it. The reason behind this particular threat is the killing of General Soleimani, the highest defense post in Iran, that is the head of the Iranian Royal Guard. Question number 5. Now let's move on to question number 6 and see what is there for you in question number 6, and are you aware about question number 6 or not? Now here we have this question: when is National Girl Child Day celebrated? On which of the following dates is the National Girl Child Day celebrated in India? Now the National Girl Child Day started for the first time in the year 2008. And the main reason behind the National Girl Child Day was to create awareness about importance of the girl child and to protect the girl child, to create awareness about the different problems that girl child face, to encourage people not to opt for female infanticide or feticide. And that's the entire reason behind the Save the Girl campaign, that's the National Girl Child Day. And from 2008, every year on a particular date in January, the National Girl Child Day is observed across the country. Now, question number 6, the correct answer. What is the right answer for question number 6? The right answer for question number 6 is January 24th. Now, January 24th is the National Girl Child Day. Every year on January 24th, the National Girl Child Day is observed across the country, which is mainly to create awareness about the rights of the girl child, and creating awareness about educating the girl child and protecting the girl child, and other such socio-economic reasons related to the girl child. Now, it was started in which year? 2008, that you could note down, and also you should know the date, that is January 24th. Another point that I would want you to note down here is about the International Day for Girl Child. Now, the National Day for Girl Child is January 24th. What about the International Day for Girl Child? Does anyone of you know when is the International Day of Girl Child observed across the world every year? On which date, which month, and which day is the International Day for Girl Child? So there could be two questions that could come in the examination. One could be the National Day for Girl Child, and that is January 24th, and the International Day for Girl Child. If you don't know, you can write it down. If you know, you can post it in the answer option. So let me see if you can post the answer in the comment section. When is the International Day of for Girl Child observed across the world? The right answer, students, for this one is 11th of October. 11th of October is the International Day for the Girl Child, and 24th of January is the National Day for Girl Child. Alright. So I hope you have noted down this important piece of information so that we can move on now to question number 7. And I'm sure you should be aware about this answer at least, right? Who will be the chief guest at India's 71st, or who was, we can say now, because Republic Day is already done on the 26th of January on the Sunday. So who was the chief guest at India's 71st Republic Day? 71st Republic Day, who was the chief guest? There are 4 answer options in front of you. One is Jair Bolsonaro, B is Donald Trump, C is Vladimir Putin, and D is Boris Johnson, the new Prime Minister of Britain. And Putin, is from Russia, Trump is from US, and Jair Bolsonaro is the President of Brazil. So the question here is, who will be, or who was the chief guest at the 71st Republic Day of India? Answer for question number 7 is a Jair Bolsonaro. Very fiery and outspoken president of the country called as Brazil in the continent of South America, who is famous and infamous both for his different remarks that he has made for people who are pro-climate activists or those who are pro-LGBT rights, because some of these statements made by Jair Bolsonaro are not in good taste when it comes to talking about people who are homosexuals and even people who advocate climate change. So, question number 7, the right answer is A. Jair Bolsonaro, the current president of Brazil, who was the head of and India and Brazil have signed a number of different deals post this visit of Jair Bolsonaro in India. Okay. Question number 8 now for you. Which Indian actress won the Crystal Award 2020 at the 50th World Economic Forum? Which Indian actress won the Crystal Award 2020 at the 50th World Economic Forum, that's WEF? The World Economic Forum is held every year in a city called as Davos, Davos, in Switzerland, where business leaders and different political leaders from across the world participate in this forum, as mainly for encouraging international trade, friendly relations with countries, and also to provide a platform for businesses to talk to political leaders of different countries for their expansion and also for world development. So this is called as the World Economic Forum. It's a major event, international event, in which India also participates. Last year, Mr. Modi also went in the World Economic Forum. This year, he was not there at the forum. And every year in this particular forum, there is the World Economic Forum, an award is given that is called the Crystal Award. And this award is normally for people who have championed a major cause in their country or across the world, something significant contribution they have made. So the Crystal Award 2020 at the 50th World Economic Forum was given to Deepika Padukone. The correct answer, yes, is Deepika Padukone. That is answer option C here. And Deepika Padukone was given the Crystal Award 2020 at the 50th World Economic Forum for her contributions in creating awareness about the problems of mental health. Sometimes that could also come as a question, like why was she given the award? We may know the award was given to Deepika Padukone, but why was she given the award? That answer is that because she has created a lot of awareness and made discussion on the problems of mental health, particularly talking about depression, something like that. Normally people hide it and then don't want to discuss it. She made this discussion mainstream. So that is one of major contributions, and through her NGO, she is also doing a lot about creating awareness and helping people reach out through helpline number if they are suffering with any kind of a clinical depression or any other mental health issues. So the correct answer for question number 8 is answer option C, and I hope you have noted down both the things, why Deepika Padukone was given this award, and that Deepika Padukone is a recipient of the Crystal Award 2020, and also the fact that it was given at the World Economic Forum, which was the 50th World Economic Forum. So that could again come as a question. 50th World Economic Forum, and also I have told you that the World Economic Forum 2020, just like it's held every year in the month of January, was held at the city of Davos in Switzerland. So all of these things are there in this particular question for you to understand and keep in mind. Let's move on to question number 9. Which country has elected Katerina Sakharova? I don't know exactly how that's pronounced. Maybe the first name is right, Katerina, as its first woman president. Which country has elected Katerina Sakharova as its first woman president? And there are 4 answer options in front of you. A is Ethiopia, B is Greece, C is Italy, and D is Ireland. So which country has elected Katerina Sakharova as its first woman president? Have you read about this, or did you hear about this anywhere, in newspaper or news channel? If you have not, then please note down the name. Katerina Sakharova, the first woman president of the country Greece. The correct answer for question number 9 is B. Greece is that country in which she has become the first woman president there. Alright, so question number 9, the answer is B, Greece. Let's move on to question number 10 and see what is the answer for question number 10. What is the question first? Let's look at the question. I'm sure you must have read about this. This was quite popular. Various posts were there on Facebook and Twitter. and other places, most of the social media platforms. So, what is the name of the human robot that has been developed by ISRO to send to space? So, ISRO will be sending the Gaganyaan to space, and in that Gaganyaan, it will be sending a humanoid robot, right? And what is the name of this humanoid robot, which is in the form of woman? So it's a woman robot, okay? A woman droid, a woman robot, you can say. Uh, what is the name of this particular robot? The correct answer, yes, is A. Vyom Mitra. Vyom Mitra is a female robot that will be sent by ISRO to space in its Gaganyaan mission. So we had Chandrayaan, then we had Mangalyaan, and now we have Gaganyaan. Okay, so Vyom, which means space, and Mitra, which means friend. So just simply we can say space friend. Okay, Vyom Mitra is the name of this particular robot. It's a she robot, it's a woman robot. Question number 10 is done. And now let's move on to question number 11, and let's see if you are familiar with this question or not. And again, this is something that's quite popular nowadays. A lot of discussion about this is going on. So, which deadly virus outbreak in China killed 9 people and infected over 400 people? The latest count is way more than this. I think more than 400 people are supposedly dead, and there are thousands and thousands of people who are infected in China by this very deadly virus. So, what is the name of this particular virus? Deadly virus outbreak in China that has killed a number of people, and then thousands others are currently infected with this virus. China is building a huge hospital just in 6 days to as a quarantine and treatment facility for people affected by this particular virus. And what is the name of this virus? Yes, the answer is coronavirus. And in India also, government is taking all preventive measures to make sure that anyone who is affected by, or at least possibly affected by this virus, is quarantined immediately, and the spread of this virus is stopped. The name of the virus is coronavirus, and this virus say that it outbreak happened in China. Maybe it passed from snakes to human, and so I don't know how Chinese managed to do that. But it passed from snakes to humans, and now it has now morphed maybe itself and evolved, and now it's spreading from humans to humans as well. It's an acute respiratory problem, and it leads to, it's a very fatal disease. It leads to death, and many people have already succumbed to this very deadly virus outbreak in China. That's question number 8, coronavirus. Let's move on to question number 12. Subhash Chandra Bose's birth anniversary is celebrated every year on which of the following day? Subhash Chandra Bose, the legendary and revolutionary freedom fighter, who also, after resigning from the Indian National Congress, went on to create his own army called as the Azad Hind Force. And he formed this army, Azad Hind Force, from people who had revolted against the sepoys, who had revolted against the British in Singapore. And from Singapore, the army that was formed came through Burma. Now we know Burma as Myanmar, and from northeastern part of India towards India. And the main aim was that they had to go to Delhi, and that is why they gave the slogan "Chalo Delhi." So this legendary army, it was created by the great freedom fighter Subhash Chandra Bose. And the question here is about Subhash Chandra Bose's birth anniversary is celebrated every year on which of the following day? We have options 23rd January, then we have 22nd January, 21st January, and 20th January. So, what is the birth anniversary of Subhash Chandra Bose? The correct answer, students, for question number 12 is A, that is 23rd January. 23rd January is the birth anniversary which is observed across India to remember Subhash Chandra Bose and his contribution towards India. Question number 12 is done. So let's move on to question number 13 now. Let's see what do you have for question number 13 here. What is India's ranking in the recently released Corruption Perception Index 2019? Now this is an index, Corruption Perception Index, which gives a reflection of how the people of a country perceive its government to be, and what is the extent of corruption in that particular. country, both perceived nationally as well as internationally. That's what is called corruption perception index. The countries are ranked based on how people perceive that country to be corrupt. Okay. Now, what is India's ranking in the recently released corruption perception index? Out of the number of countries that were ranked, India's ranking is 80. And the ranking of India in the Corruption Perception Index 2019 fell 2 places from its ranking in the year 2018. So in 2018 ranking, India's ranking was 78 and now it has fell 2 places down. So that means people are now perceiving the government to be more corrupt than before in 2018. So its ranking was 78 earlier and now it has become 80. So please note down, India's ranking in the Corruption Perception Index 2019 is 80. And the correct answer of this particular question is answer option D. Okay. So I hope you have noted down this question and the answer. India's ranking is 80 in the Corruption Perception Index, and India fell 2 places. Its ranking, the previous index was 78 and now its ranking is 80. Let's move to the next question here. Question number 14. Which country will be the guest of honor at the New Delhi World Book Fair 2022? Okay, so maybe for the future, for the 2022, which country will be the guest of honor at the New Delhi World Book Fair 2022? There are 4 answer options here. One is the United Kingdom, or the other one is Spain, third is France, and fourth is Australia. And the New Delhi World Book Fair, the International Book Festival, happens in New Delhi every year in the month of January. And every year, some other country comes to be the main host country and the guest of honor. And for this question, the correct answer, students, is France. France will be the guest of honor for the New Delhi World Book Fair 2022. So these were the 14 questions from the latest current affairs for the week, last 7 to 8 days. And you should have a habit of reading about all of these important events every day in the newspaper to keep abreast. And also we'll be bringing you more videos to make sure that we can contribute towards your exam preparation, to give you the most important questions from current affairs to help you with your exams. So students, this is the first session. Thank you for watching the video and joining with me. And again, I'll be looking forward to seeing you back at 11 o'clock for the next class on mathematics for numbers question discussion. We'll be looking at a number of questions from numbers like HCF, LCM, divisibility, and we'll be discussing the solution of the questions and also giving a revision of some of those topics on the topic of numbers. Alright students, thank you for now, and I'll be seeing you again for the next session at 11 o'clock. Thank you so much.